this is Stacia, and today I have on my training plan to do 15 minutes of opening study along with 45 minutes of endgame. So we're going to do the opening study right now, and I know which opening I do want to look at, and it's Evans Gambit. This opening is extremely complicated, and I did see that in the FIDE World Cup, an Evans Gambit was played, so we may take a peek at that one. But first, let's look at a game that I played recently in Evans Gambit. Did not go so well for me. Let's try to find some improvements. It's not going to be easy at all. In fact, this could easily turn into a 1 hour study. It won't, but it could. Yeah, so here we go. So I played this game against Hari at the GCC Friday Night Quads, where I played an Evans Gambit in round 3. And, you know, sometimes when I play this, I just feel sort of lost. And I don't mean like lost in the position. I mean, I just have no clue what to do and why I would have an advantage or not. So we're going to try to actually understand these positions a little better. So it goes e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop to c4. We have the Italian game, and after bishop to c5, we have this nice option of b4. And if I check with the opening book, you can see that b4, you know, is played by masters and is the fourth most common move at only 8%. And the positions are, you know, they favor draws and favor black slightly, but really they're just sharp and difficult. And whoever plays better will win. That's the way I feel. But I feel like white maybe has to be a little more precise than black does, at least at higher levels. So b4, they should take the pawn, absolutely. And you can see a lot of big names in here. So this is definitely a real opening. Don't think that it isn't, just because it's a gambit. Okay, so c3 is what I played in the game. This makes sense. Bishop to a5. So this is the main line. The other one I see the most is bishop to e7. And there's also bishop c5, but I don't exactly fear this one. We're not going to worry about this one because after d4 takes, I like to castle. They'll generally take. I will go check here. Queen d5, pick up. In fact, I had this against one of the kids at chess camp today. He thought he was lost in this position. I was like, no, don't forget, I sacrificed. He's like, yeah, but my king can't castle. I'm like, it's okay. Because if you look at this position, after king to f8, check, you can play d6 now, attacking that queen. And okay, I probably am going to take on c3 to put pressure here. But if we check with the computer, okay, I guess white does have an advantage, more than I thought. There's only one game in the database. But I have not had an easy time winning these, I'll say that. And so, wait, what was their improvement? Oh, they actually should not take. I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought that was the main line. But actually, that's just good for white. They really should play d6. This is the main move here. And then we take, and probably the bishop goes to b6. Yeah, it sure does. And we have the center, and we're down a pawn. And it looks like an Evans Gambit, probably because it is. But let's go back. Bishop e7, I'm also not worried about. But let's look at the one that I am worried about, which is bishop to a5. So here we have a bishop that has retreated. This square makes a lot of sense because with the b pawn gone, I can't play b4 anymore and attack that bishop. And the other thing is that it will often come to b6, which is a pretty nice diagonal. And we can build a center with d4, but that bishop is going to sit here and put pressure on our center. But the bishop is actually vulnerable here, as you'll see, because when we do go d4 and we have our center, what is the center good at? It's good at kicking knights. So d5 is often going to be a theme. where after they played d6, and sometimes we provoke it on purpose. We have this idea of going d5, and when the knight moves, we have queen a4 check, forking the king and the bishop. So that bishop is loose, and that is a common theme. So let's go ahead and see. After bishop a5, I did play d4. This is a good move, I believe. They take, and I played queen b3. Yeah, and this is my normal move. Now you'll see here that in the book, in the opening book, it's the second most common move. I used to play castle, which I also do like, but as you can see, queen b3 scores better, and my coach Jim Antoline turned me onto this move and pressured me into it. And after I was done kicking and screaming, I played it and I was like, wow, this is better. It just like gains a tempo right away. So I actually do like that about it. But the downside to this move, I believe, is that once you're done gaining a tempo, you're probably going to lose it back. Because after they protect, let's say queen e7, I think queen e7 and queen f6 are basically going to be mandatory here. I see knight h6 as a move. That seems crazy to me. So we've got to look at that. Okay, I've got to see. I turned off the engine because I would take, definitely, right? Because now I'm threatening to take there. I mean, are they just going to let us do this? Like, what is this? Is there some crazy counterattack that I'm missing here? Like, what on earth am I missing? I mean, is it queen f6 now? Could it possibly be that? I feel like if they just take, how am I not happy with this? This looks amazing. And if king f8, we could even play bishop h5, just like unleashing a checkmate threat. I can't believe that this is fine. Maybe it is fine because they could. They're attacking this now. All right, I guess let's check. I have no concrete conclusion. Yeah, this is good for white. It's kind of what I felt, but not like winning or anything. So after takes, so is the computer changing its mind about this move? Gotta watch these low depths. Yeah, it changed its mind. So you can hit that green button to increase the depth. And as we can see now, queen f6 and queen e7 are the only moves. So you gotta watch it when Stockfish is on low depth. So it turns out this is bad, which is what I thought. It's saying plus 0.5, but didn't we see it higher than that? Yeah. Yeah, this is good for white. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. At least not for this. Because I thought that's not good. All right. But if we go back to our position, after d4 takes queen b3. The problem with queen b3 in my estimation is that after they defend the threat, they can then play bishop b6 and knight a5. And knight a5 will fork our bishop and our queen, and that is our light square attacking bishop. This bishop, we want to keep him. So there are some lines where you just have to give him up. And this is kind of the start of those lines, because if our queen and bishop are going to get attacked by knight a5, or if they just get knight a5 with tempo, it's not that great. So queen b3 gains a tempo, but I feel like it also loses a tempo a bit later. So, okay, let's look at queen e7. This is played in the game. After queen to e7, they're threatening our e-pawn, or are they? I mean, they are, but we castle, and now they can't take because of this simple tactic. So castles is a good move. And here is where in the game Harry played d6, and I think d6 is a try, sure. during the game, I felt, I want to turn off the engine for a second. During the game, I felt this move is not that great, but I did not know how to punish it whatsoever. So if I just turn this off, let's see. And I've been starting to think that maybe a good way to explore these positions is to play against the computer, but then also play black and like just spar with the computer, like not an actual game, but there's this very nice feature here, right? Practice with computer. So we can try our ideas and see what happens. So let's try this, I guess. Now, I have looked at this, and I do believe e5 is the move, but why? I gotta know why before I play it. Why am I going e5? I do see that if I take here, rook e1 is no longer possible. But I am threatening d5. Knight here, knight takes. And if queen takes, we have that queen a4 check thing, picking up the bishop. But I don't think the line ends there. It looks complicated. I've seen stuff like that before. Okay. Well, what does e5 do? Why am I even playing this move? Maybe one big reason is that if they take with the pawn, we have bishop a3. That would gain a tempo on the queen. That's going to then stop castling. So that seems to have some merit. So I'm going to play it, I think. The other move they could do is take with the knight. But once again, that knight's protecting the bishop, and queen a4 check will be a thing. So let's see. Okay, computer takes with a knight. Now, I do not want to see knight takes f3 check. And g takes and bishop e6. I don't think I want that. So I'm going to have to take this knight. Which is the best move, okay. We're +1 here, according to the computer. But it's hard to even take any engine evaluation seriously. Because really it's just a matter of figuring out the position. And if it works out, you have an advantage. And sometimes it doesn't, and then you don't. So this means nothing unless we find the right moves. I mean, the computer so confidently took with the queen and just left f7 hanging. So we do have that move. We have this. And we also have this. But actually we don't because the queen's protecting the bishop. So taking on f7 seems right to me. Okay. So we took on f7. Now, if I try that bishop h5 move that I mentioned before to threaten checkmate, they actually just take it. We don't have it available. But we could take here, which is a tempo on the queen. But when the queen takes, that queen is going to be attacking the rook on a1. So, oops, and I have this open. I don't necessarily want that. I think it's right, though, because we have bishop e2. So let me think for a second. Take, bishop b2. Oops. So the 15 minutes is up. That was my little timer. But I feel like I'm just getting started. You know, that's why sometimes openings can be tough. At least Evans Gambit can be. Okay, I think I like this move. Take bishop e2. Now that queen can then play, if they go bishop e6, this is the first move that pops in my mind. I had a game where I faced this move before. Because I don't want to trade queens, but the bishop on b2 is sort of like behind the queen. So when I move the queen, I've got to protect the bishop. But at the same time, I've got to protect this bishop. So this actually looks kind of rough to me. Don't have rook e1. Is it possible I should just take the knight now? Ooh, I think in the variation where I got burned by queen b6, the knight was actually already on f6, I believe. So there was no bishop takes knight, which can be a big deal. If I'm facing a situation where this bishop needs to continue to be guarded by the queen, and I have to move the queen, could get into major trouble there. Probably don't need to take immediately. Probably this is okay because it's tempo on the queen. They take back. We play here. Tempo on the queen. Queen b6. Then if I take the knight in that position and they trade queens, we simply retreat and win a piece. So I like that. So we do have a way to meet that move. So I think this is good then. So I'm going to play it. I think it was good. Still +1. Queen f5. They're threatening to win our bishop now. They're still guarding against bishop h5. Is there anything else that this queen is doing? Don't think so. So basically, it's just a tempo on our bishop. I mean, I would take the knight in most cases. They're going to have to take with a rook. We're still down a pawn here. And then probably the next idea is going to be knight d2 and knight c4. Getting rid of that dark square bishops. Not a bad idea. All right, so let's see if this move... Oh, it says a mistake. So I made my first mistake, and it was taking that. So now let's continue and see why, because it's not clear to me why yet. I thought I just go here or something. That's also a blunder. I had to go bishop. Oh, I think we see another idea of queen f5, which was just to play bishop e6 with tempo. That makes some sense. And with my light square bishop gone, this guy's strong now. I didn't think this was such a big deal, but maybe it is. I need to move my queen clearly. I could do it with tempo here. But then where's my queen going? I'm not sure. I could also take a pawn. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. So I'm guessing black has some kind of nice response to this. They're going to move the rook. They're just going to go here. Let me take and then play bishop e6 or something. Okay, we got to go down this line, I think. It's the only move that makes sense. Yeah. Queen b2 was a move too, which looks very awkward. I completely missed this. The bishop is protected by the queen and protects the rook through our queen. This is why studying with Stockfish can be good. That's a good move. Really good move. That actually leaves me with not that many options. Plus they're getting ready to to like play here, forking the pawn and mate, it looks like. And if I go knight f3 in that situation, they can just take, because there will be a pin on the g-pawn. So this is getting definitely tough. Now, can I do this? That would like pin this bishop, attack this bishop. I don't think that does anything really. Just bishop b6, that's protected. Can't go here. My queen's like not so active anymore, is it? Big mistake. Let's see what computer has in mind, because I just want to wrap this up. Okay, they take. They're threatening checkmate. That's not very nice. Oh man, if I go f3, they're going to take here, forking my unprotected bishop. So that's why they took there, to create a target. And then threaten mate, seeing that if I play f3, they have a fork. Wow, Stockfish is good. Alright, so, yeah, I feel like sort of hopeless. I have to defend mate, but how? How do I defend mate? This does nothing. They mate. We have to defend this. How, though? Wow, there is no way. So this is all forced, which is how it feels when you play a computer engine. Right? F3's the only move. Then I'm going to lose a piece. Okay, so I see why this is bad now. Yeah, that's a good move. I'm going to lose a bishop. Yeah, okay. So in terms of our opening study, I do feel I'm learning a lot here. So let's go ahead and I want to promote this variation, but I think what I'm really going to do is just make a new chapter. Okay, so this is the line that we had. I'm going to promote it. This is me versus Stockfish. Yeah. So where did I blunder? I was doing pretty well for a while there. Like, e5 is right. Now, I can't remember why c takes d4. Okay. I couldn't remember because it's actually fine. You can play that too. So, I like e5 though. Puts more pressure on black, I feel. It's more forcing. Knight takes e5, queen takes e5. And we just went f7. Nothing wrong with that. King f8. Okay, this is right. Yes, queen f5 move I'm not familiar with. I was definitely expecting queen d4 here. And I was going to play bishop e2. And I do have an advantage here. And I thought if queen b6, let's just see if I was right. Yeah, I take the knight. This is what I thought. And look at that. It's the only good move. So my conclusion that we have to have bishop takes g8 was absolutely on the money. So I'm glad about that. However, the computer played a different way. They play this queen f5 move. See, this is what I like to learn. Queen f5. So I may put like this in Chessable now. Like this queen f5 thing. And here I only have one good move, and it's to retreat the bishop to c4. Bishop d5 is playable. Probably c6 though, no? Not c6. If c6, bishop f3. Okay, I thought this, and this is good for white still. So instead, they go knight f6. Oh yeah, develop with tempo. Makes way more sense. And then we go here. And now bishop e6. Okay. Now our pawn's attacked. And this position's equal, which basically, though, that means it's playable. We have compensation for a pawn. We're down a pawn, and it's equal. That's a good position. To me, it's still like, I'd rather be white still in these positions. Other players will argue they'd rather be black. Okay, fine. I'd rather be down a pawn and have initiative. But where did I go wrong? I went wrong by playing this move because I didn't see one of the secret threats behind queen f5, which is to play bishop e6. So after this trade, they get bishop e6, right? I did nothing to deal with that. I played knight d2. Bishop e6 was a tempo on my queen. And yeah, when you're down a pawn and you give up the initiative, it's usually a very bad thing. Usually you're just worse after that. I mean, it depends on the position, of course, but that is certainly the case here, right? Like, bishop e6 comes in and it's just like, boom. You can just feel that I don't have compensation anymore because this queen's strong, this bishop's strong, and okay, if they can just protect their king, which they kind of are already, then I'm in trouble. And Stockfish just seized the initiative and never let go. So I grabbed a pawn, which is not even, that was not even my idea. I was really attacking the rook, and I just missed this very powerful move, defending and putting pressure on g2. Just brilliant play by our favorite computer friend. So I attacked the bishop, and they simply traded it off. This is unprotected, and they took immediate advantage with queen to e4, threatening mate. And this is why Stockfish is so good. It saw that my only defense is f3, but that just loses a piece. So it's tough to play computers. What can you say? This is really a good lesson for me, though, to know these kinds of defenses that black has. So I'm pretty pleased with this. Now, where did I go wrong then? I went wrong because I didn't see this bishop e6 threat. Had I seen it, maybe I would have found the move bishop c4, because now there is no bishop e6. We just take it, right? So now black would do something else like knight f6, and the game would go on. So, okay, we'll stop there with that. Now, I don't want to end here, though. I do. We're doing like a way longer opening study, I realize. But I don't like ending on these notes where I just find the black defenses and I don't have any new ideas for myself, right? It's important to learn how black will play and stop my ideas. It's also important to learn some new ideas. And to do that, we're going to play black against Stockfish in the same position. So we're going to do the same thing now in the same position, right? So Hari played d6 in the game. And now I want to play against the computer here. Probably do have to flip the board. That is fine. We'll do that. Computer played e5. Now I'm going to try to defend. And I feel pretty confident now because the engine showed me some new ideas. And I could be wrong about this, but I feel like having ideas and plans is like necessary to calculate accurately. Like, we can do puzzles and tactics. That's definitely probably even more important. But in addition, if the tactics aren't working, you need some ideas and you need some plans. And then you calculate if they work or not, right? If you don't even have a plan, then what are you going to calculate? That's my question. So, all right, so let's go ahead and play. So after this move, e5, I'm pretty sure we're going to take with a knight because that is what the computer did. Why am I doing that, though? Well, I think if they check me, I will play here, and if they take the bishop, I will take on c4. It's also tempo on the queen. So that's the reasoning behind it. I see that now. So I'm going to go here, which also threatens knight takes f3 check, which is not something white wants. So they take. Okay, now when I take back, if I take back with a pawn, yeah, there's check for sure. There's check there. They're going to win the bishop. They're going to win the bishop. So that is why we must take with the queen. So I see that. There's no rook e1. It's just a free rook with checkmate. No, not with checkmate. Bishop f1. Okay, but I'm seeing this from black's perspective. Does feel different, which means this is a very healthy exercise for me. It should feel the same, but we have our biases, right? I'm used to playing white. I'm going to take with the queen. Yep, they're going to take on f7. Now, I could play king d8 or king f8. I already know that the computer played king f8. Why do I not want king d8? Well, I can tell you that one reason from experience I know. We want to keep attacking this bishop. We do want to do that. So I'm going to go here. And there's no bishop h5. That's important. That can be a crusher. And Stockfish takes on d4. Now, I am very tempted to take. I realize now they will go bishop b2. This is what I would play as white. And on bishop b6, or on queen b6, like we were saying, they can then take our knight. So I'd really like to play knight f6. That's what I want to play next. I could play this computer idea, queen f5, with the idea of bishop e6. Or I could take. I'm going to take because I feel like this is a more human approach. I mean, it's a pawn. It's a center pawn. It's kind of hard not to take this. So there's our bishop h5, threatening checkmate. I'm going to have to stop checkmate. Bishop e6 does not stop checkmate. Queen f6 would stop checkmate. Do they actually have bishop g5? Because if I take, there's checkmate. So after queen f6 and bishop g5. Maybe I can play queen e7. There's still no rook e1. And I'm threatening bishop e6. Another move is g6, but that's not something I want to do. I don't want to weaken the king side even more. And then this could come in after I play knight f6, so I don't know if I want that. I think queen f6 is the move. It's a good move. Yay. I found a good move. Now if we take the knight and they take back, now I learned from the computer, is there anything there to like take advantage of these loose pieces? There'd be a loose piece there and a loose piece there, but they're bishops. They're not on the same color. I can't fork them. This bishop is annoying. I know that from playing the white side. I think bishop e6 is nice now. Why would I not play that? One reason is queen takes b7, and that is a tempo on my rook. And I don't have that same really nice move the computer wanted, bishop d5, because my queen's not on f5, it's on f6. So after bishop e6, they really can take here, and they really are threatening. So that's initiative for white, which maybe we don't want. So bishop b6 comes to mind. I think bishop b6 might be a real move here. They still don't have rook e1, and I still have bishop e6 after that, so I like this. It is a good move, yay. Another good move was queen e6. Oh, offering a queen trade. That's interesting. So they attack our queen. So queen e6 definitely comes to mind. But there's queen f3, check, right? So if I go queen e6, queen f3, check. Checks our king, protects the knight. Okay, I think queen f5 now. Gotta watch mate. Queen f5 does it. Is there some crazy move like g4? Because I can't actually take the knight, I get mated. So what do I do on g4? It's actually a very good question. It protects everything. It protects that bishop, and I probably have to go queen e6 there then. I have to. And then queen f3 check. Knight f6. I guess we have knight f6. So maybe queen e6, check, and knight f6, and knight takes, and queen takes. I think I like queen e6, actually. But then there's rook e1, but they're pinned in that case. And they could play queen f3, check, knight f6, and... But if they go knight takes, I actually do win that rook. It's queen e6 or queen f5. I like queen f5 because it comes with tempo on that bishop. I can't take the knight, but I can take the bishop. This is tempo on the queen, but I think they just come here. Then there's knight f6, though. But the knight's pinned. All right, I have to make a decision, so I'm just going to go queen to f5. It's a blunder. I had to play queen e6. Okay, I saw this move, and I thought I figured it out. So what did I miss? I thought I'd go queen e6 here, right? And then they go check, and then I have 6. Ooh, do they have g5? They have g5. Oh, no. I'm lost. Yep, knight f6 doesn't work anymore due to g5. That's what I think's going to happen. Because what else do I do now? Do I have any other move? I could play here, I guess, but that doesn't it doesn't feel like the right move. Bishop g5 and here. No, this can't be good. It seems totally wrong. Knight f6, there's g5 though. Yeah, it's just lost, which is what the engine's telling me. It's like, you're lost. Okay, fine. So let's go ahead and just witness the actual defeat. And And then we'll play it out from the white side, because that's going to be a new idea that I put in my Chessable. Because, you know, I'm putting thought into these moves. Like, I'm not just playing these moves out super fast and just looking at what the engine tells me right away. I'm actually playing out the moves and trying to understand what's going on in these positions. And I could spend a lot longer, I feel. Rook E1, the computer did. That pins their own knight, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why they didn't go G5. I'd be very suspicious of this in a game, but since it's Stockfish, I know it's just very good. So they're still threatening G4, which makes me want to move my king. So here's my question. Oh, I just answered it to myself. If I go king G8, what happens? I just realized they take with check and win the queen. So we can't let them take with check. So king E7 is the move I'm very much considering now, but that also looks extremely bad because when they move their knight, well, it's the best chance. We're going to play it. It's a blunder. This was bishop D7, allowing G4. Bishop G5. Applying more pressure. Computer's so mean. Yeah, so this actually what it did is defend the rook. So now we're definitely in trouble because they're threatening to take. Wow, and they defended this with a bishop. So now, if they take, we can't take with a queen for two reasons. We'd get taken by a bishop and we're pinned. So, yeah, this feels very lost now. So I definitely see what the computer did here. Very nice play. So I think I'll just resign and let's have a look at this one. What could I have done better? If I now make that our main line. I did pretty well, I feel, until Queen F6 was right. It's right here in the middle game where I start to lose the thread and not know what I'm doing. So it looks like Queen E6 is like important here. I played bishop B6. Okay, bishop B6 is good. But why did I not see the knight coming to E4? That's just an oversight on my part. And then this is the blunder. So I thought we go here and attack that bishop. But what actually happened is they played this G4 move protecting it. I can't take the knight because there's checkmate. So that I knew. So I went here, which is my idea. And I thought after check, I could play knight f6. But this doesn't work because the g4 pawn is moved. Oh, and I kept saying g4, but what I really meant is g5. I thought g5 wins here. It does not. I can take the knight. Wow. Okay. I can take the knight. And if they take here, I actually take their queen, right? Yeah, I take their queen and win the game. Wow. Okay, I didn't quite see that. So now we know why the computer did not play g5 and instead played rook e1. Very sneaky move. Ooh, look how strong it is. So strong. Because it stops the threat. And I feel like this is the heart of chess. Like there's some secret threats. I thought knight f6. And then the computer, of course, knows they can't play this because of this. Okay, which I didn't even see that for some reason. But then the computer's like, no problem, I'll stop it. Rook e1. Now, when I go g5, like if they had a free turn, I'll just go here or something. They can now play this, right? This is a real threat now. They probably have more threats. But this is winning because now I can't take here anymore. So stop that thing. And then, of course, there's more stuff going on. Yeah, so Rookie 1 does that amongst other things. It also creates these very scary things. So I saw I can't go King G8 because check, and they just win my queen. Right. I can take here, but there's check. This is not. So I can't do anything. If I don't take that way, they win the queen, which is what I referenced, and yeah, and this move's just extremely strong. So attack, putting pressure on the pinned piece, defending the rook. And this is just lost, completely lost. So beautiful, beautiful. So now we have some new ideas in the Evans Gambit. I'm going to put these in my Chessable, but I can end the video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if you did or not, but this is sort of, this is an idea I've been meaning to do, which is kind of spar against the computer a little bit in the early middle game or the late opening area. So to learn new things, and that is, I do think that we did, and hopefully these themes are going to be in my brain now. And I can tell you that when you do this and then you see the same opening over the board, you feel a bit more comfortable because you have some brand new ideas and you see more and you can calculate more with these new ideas. So all right, I hope that you have a great day. I'll be back with more chess.